Look, we are all digital consumers in front of the screen, and now as an operator you want to, okay, continue, start. What do you want to do?
So we mentioned the My Sportsbook, where we are giving the ability for the player to choose their own content, like Netflix do.
Here they are like creating.
They are creating.
Content.
So
With
here,
this mix and match.
exactly. So now we're giving them the capability to literally create their own content.
Is brilliant. Brilliant for the operator and brilliant for the player. Yeah, we talked about different topic, including the casino operators' opportunity to add the sports book in general, but in more so for the World Cup as the biggest event with the biggest traction and action. Let's talk about what sports operators needs to do. What are the challenges? Because it's not just all positive in terms of the advantages that the World Cup brings. We also know that there is a phenomenon that we see it in other big tournaments where players come only for the World Cup.
Correct.
Or they come just for the outrights for who win, and that's it. Or they come only when the national team is playing, and that's it. Or worse, they disappear after the World Cup. So let's talk about what are the things that, how important is this to tackle this phenomenon, and what are the ways to do it?
The truth is that during events like the World Cup, organic interest, organic traffic is as speak because it's easier. But it's not just only from players. So players are coming to you because there's a big event. But also other competitors are coming for your players during these events. Something I read, I don't remember where, but I was reading an iGaming article, and it specifically said that the World Cup guarantees attention, retention determines profitability, which makes a lot of sense. This is why...
Short term and long term.
Exactly. This is why I said before that the real challenge starts after the final whistle of the last match of the World Cup in retaining the players, from personalization to UX to accommodating what they actually want and look for.
I think it's twofold. One, you want to be prepared to get the players into your book. So what do they see there that is appealing to them, and in which way they are hooked? The second is how you make the most revenues while the tournament is on, and we talked about it at the player value. It's over 300 euros or 400 euros. And then the challenge that you mentioned about how do you retain them further for them to stick and to get hooked to your brand. We know it's as a fact that all the books out there has the same content. I mean, we repeated about this fact over and over again, and it's true, and it stayed true. Nobody have a different Premier League. Nobody have a different Euro or a championship. And nobody have a different World Cup. So it's not like in your competitor will have more matches for the World Cup. They will have the same. So content is the same. So first of all, in order to invite them to make the bets and the actions with your brand, get hooked and make all the bets in your brand, and also to stay, it's totally about the experience and about what your product is capable of. So they will get hooked. Obviously, you have the new emerging markets. Most of them are in Latin America, Brazil. That they will enjoy a lot of new registrations, while in others there will be a lot of players that are coming back after, in some cases, they were off for weeks or months from the brand to bet on the World Cup. The challenge is how to invite them, how to make the most out of it revenue-wise during the tournament, and how you retain them, as you said, afterward. At Delasport, for sure, we are proud with the fact, with everything that we do around the experience, around the betting experience. And we don't do that for the World Cup or for the Euro 24. We do it for every day, every weekend, the Premier League, every Wimbledon, every ATP. We are working hard to leverage the betting experience with everything that we do. This is what we do in recent years. We also do things that are specific to the World Cup with the World Cup Hub, which is a designated page. We talk about it with everything that the players need to cater them over there. But for sure, all the aspects for experience that we have kicks in beautifully also for the World Cup, starting from personalization to suggestions and recommendations, and assistances for placing a combo ticket, going through the engagement, the real-time engagement, and the unique way of betting, like with the super pot, the jackpot system for betting that we're going to have for the World Cup as well, a jackpot ticket with in the group level and later on. With the Bet Theater, our new release that brings a crash experience.
My favorite product.
Yes. So it all comes together, and all for the sake of ticking box for different players, because not all the players engage with all of this functionality, to have the experience way better, and by the product, to invite the players and also to get them hooked and get them retained. This is what we have to offer as Delasport, and this is what we believe that operators that doesn't have a book that offers all of it, and they just offer the content and some boosting prices, that will not make the players to come in, surely not to stay.
Correct. To add what you said before, at a glance, all sports books look the same, and you know this because we've spoke to different operators together. But I've never shown our product to a prospect or to an operator, and they weren't surprised. They were always surprised with what we have to offer, because some of the things, if you don't go through the actual demo, you wouldn't be able to see, like the Superpot, for example, the My Combo, the My Sportsbook. So I'm always in a place where I'm showing our sportsbook, and when I move to the next feature, they're like, there's more, there's this, there's this, there's that. Which in turn, obviously, then it comes down to us trying to explain to the casino-facing operator that, listen, we know there might be retention costs, but with all these features combined, it's obviously all on top of each other. Is the cherry on the cake. We're literally taking care also of that part of retaining the players with all these engagement, the different features, the personalization. All these come together, and as you said, it's not just for the World Cup. We do this every day, 24/7.
Yes. Look, we are all digital consumers. We have subscription with OpenAI. We have subscription with Netflix. We buy stuff from Temu or from Amazon or whatever, and we got used to a very high level of consumer experience, from personalization and recommendation and what's not. iGaming is not a different e-commerce from that perspective. Yes, of course, here the entertainment is different. It's more on betting, and you don't order products that will ship to you. But from the sheer mechanics of e-commerce, it's not different. I'm consuming content, I'm consuming entertainment, and if you will allow me with the best experience, then I will get hooked to the product, and I will stay. So I think even more so, If we take the example of Amazon or Temu or what's not, they have so many different merchandise. Some of it are exclusive to them. While in iGaming, we talk about it in sport, then nothing is exclusive. Same tournaments, same fixtures, same market, same everything. So the need for a great experience is even higher. And this is where operator win or lose if they don't have the product that will stand out in the markets. And we know, doesn't matter, Netherlands, Sweden, UK, New Jersey, it's there is saturation. There's a lot of operators that compete on the same players. I mean, take a look at Brazil that opened last year. Brazil with a 5 million, over 5 million euros for the license, you would expect only few operators will go and take a license. But you saw how many did it, and they all want to take a market share. But when the content is the same and the provider doesn't give them some spice, some ways to stand out, then they're just another one in the crowd. And we at Delasport, we work hard to change this paradigm. We understand that what is needed is the best product for the best experience, and the players will show a higher loyalty to the product and to the brand. It's a byproduct of that. Yeah. So we will talk about now about some of the ways that you can do it in more details. At the end, it's I had this occasion like in a very, very clear, distilled way when I work for Skywind. You walk on a slot. I don't know if you know that the original slot with its own math and its own graphics and everything, it costs somewhere between 50 to 60,000 euros. And you put an effort on it with the sounds and what's not, the experience and what's not. And then in some cases, or a lot of the cases, the game doesn't work. And how do you see it? Very simple. The player bounce. Players enter, doesn't do any bet. Players enter, do 2 free spins, never to go back. So there's no different mirror as that will show you if it works or if it's not. So you get it in your face, right? If it works or if it's not. So when it comes to sports betting as well, at the end, you have a player, a customer, in front of a screen. He wants to place a bet. Maybe it's an underdog bet. Maybe it's a combo bet. Maybe it's a bet builder. Maybe he's looking for fast betting, fast market, micro betting. Maybe he wants to bet on his favorite team. Maybe he wants to bet on the World Cup. So in front of the screen, this is a moment that you can even have like a flashlight if you could have seen this player. He's in front of the screen. And now as an operator, you want to, okay, continue, start. What do you want to do? So if you were behind his shoulder and you see him struggling, he cannot find things are not personalized, nothing is offered to him, there is no recommendation, he want to do, this is why the experience, as smooth as it is, if the operator have the tools to engage with the player, and different type of players, because you have those that are more recreational, let me find the team, let me find the market, let me bet, I'm out. And then you have the one that are linger more on the bet builder and the combo, and they want to get it right, and they will stay for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you need to cater these guys as well. And by all means, we cater all sorts of type of players, like the casino, catering the recreational time on device, and the high roller one with the high volatility. So you need to have in store different experiences to different segments of the players. But by all means, you must have it in your toolbox. Otherwise, you, as we said, you in the sea of the same. You're just having a World Cup offering, maybe some boosting prices, and nothing else. So why would you expect them to stay longer and to be loyal if you just offer the same? If you do the extra mile and you offer them so many different things and the experiences, as we mentioned before, and we dive right to it now. Let's talk about the personalization. We all know how big of a topic it is. We saw the huge power of Netflix and how they engrave the personalization as the one of the key aspects of what they do, and of course the recommendation. And we talk about that as an e-commerce as a different type of entertainment. But let's talk about personalization in sports betting.
The word personalization has been used as a buzzword by a lot of people for in the industry itself for quite some time. But the brutal honest truth is that if there is no real personalization in your sports book or in the experience of the player, the operator will be left behind. The player will move. This even, I mean, even sometimes when I'm just downloading an app or a game for my daughter, and the final steps or the sign up is not as accommodating as I would like it to be, I'm out. So moreover in the sportsbook side of things, I mean, you mentioned the My Sportsbook, which is one of our personalization tools that we have. The main goal of personalization is to make the life easier for the customer, to increase the LTV. So we mentioned Gen Zs, we mentioned millennials. I want to go on the brand, I want to put my bet in, and I want to proceed with my life. So, by the way, we did find out that it takes around 5 to 6 seconds if the My Sportsbook is already there for the player to have a bet on. So it's exactly what we want to do. And this is what a lot of operators struggle to understand. You can give free bets, you can give promotions, you can promote this, that. Personalization beats all of this combined, I believe.
Yes, in an analogy, if you have a shop
Mhm.
and the customer gets in, it's a happy moment, right? It's an option for a sale. It's also an option for a satisfied customer. And let's say you have so many different merchandise in that shop. For that customer, if he wants to come and buy one thing, better to be catered as fast as possible. Sometimes they come with a model. I mean, not just with the color and everything. They know what they want to get. Of course, you can have upsells and offering other complementary products. But at the end, if they want to have a certain thing that they want to buy and they are tuned to it, men are a lot like that. And we established that a lot of them are betting on sport. So better for them to find what they need fast. Also in sports betting, the fact that it's digital and in front of the screen, it doesn't mean that you need to neglect the fact that you need to cater the customer and what they need. And by all means, we see whether if it's recreational type of fans that are coming to bet only on their FC, or if it's a World Cup and they come to bet on the national team. Why would you like them to spend time on your website and not to be catered right away? Why you need to create these frictions? Of course, you shouldn't. Yes, we can see here when with the My Sportsbook, the players can get to it anytime from the My account. He sees the different sports. By the way, I don't know if you know, most of the sports books offers more than 125 sports that I don't know to name all of them. I mean, like a kabaddi or badminton, and nobody bets on all sports, right?
And you are a perfect example, because I remember that you were following the Carlos Alcaraz progress. So imagine having the My Sportsbook and you just want to drill it down to an individual athlete, looking what's happening. It's
Exactly. So as you can see, you have different sports. You can also search. You can, if you only care about football, you can mark football. If you care only about the Premier League, you can mark Premier League. And if you only care about Manchester United and Liverpool, you can mark that. Of course, also in tennis, and you can pick your athletes, etc. And then you have My Sports. So you still have all the content, but now it's filtered to only the thing that you are catered about. And this is something we opened the My Sportsbook right after the first deposit. once the player not to interfere with the main critical funnel, and then we offer him the personalization exactly like in Netflix. And when we introduced the My Sportsbook, people came to me and say, hey, what, you have a problem with your tech? I told them, what do you mean? Why you don't detect by yourself that this guy like Manchester United? Why you need to ask him? So I asked him, do you think that Netflix has a problem with their tech? They also do the same. And they do it right after they put their deposit or the subscription, their debit or credit card, because they want to serve the customer right away. So let us know if you like only tennis and you like only Alcaraz or Sinner or whomever, because we want to cater you right away. And as I said before, iGaming, it's not Netflix. Netflix has a lot of exclusive content. They have their own studios. They manufacture their own movies and TV series, and they buy TV series. In sports, we established that the content is the same. A lot of operators doesn't have the time to wait and learn. Of course, we have the tech to detect what someone like, but if he comes to use the welcome bonus and he's gone after a few hours or after a day, you don't have the critical mass or threshold to understand what he likes. So why don't you ask him right away? Why don't you cater him right away with the person in a personalized way? And this is how the My Sportsbook, and deliberately we use the My. You will find it in Delasport. My combo, my event builder, my. Why? Because we saw the statistics about the Gen Z. It's all about my. I'm empowered. I'm a digital customer. I was born into the digital world. Everything that I do is through my mobile, and I'm already used to certain experiences when it comes to e-commerce. So serve me in the right way. I like to be personalized. So when you go to the second, third, 5 times to Netflix, they know what they like, what you like already. They know if you binge something. They know if you bounce from something. The recommendation is bullseye. So you get it. So sports betting, e-commerce, and this is what we do in Delasport. No difference. We need to cater you in the same way, personalized. If you just want to place a bet on a certain team and gone, fine, we do it for you.
That's very true.
And this is what I said, that we cater different segments in a different way. And on the context of World Cup, it's also critical. Don't puzzle me with a lot of different things and a lot of noises. Just give me what I need. If I personalize something, and if you know that I like already, if I bet on Premier League heavily, and this is what I watch, there's a good chance that also that I will bet on England in the World Cup or the England team events. So this is about personalization. It's a noble thing to do, and it's a service. So you don't change the content. You just change the experience in the right way, in the way that it should be.
Can you imagine the buzz around the My Event Builder during the World Cup, Oren, with all those teams involved? Which again, I remember once when we were talking and discussing.
Tell us more about what is it. Maybe not everybody knows what is
the My Event Builder. Yeah. So basically, it's a feature or a tool that whenever I show to prospects or customers, like, wow, okay, this is something else.
For example, Morocco, Brazil, and Norway, France. So this is 2 real-life events that will be in the groups.
And I want to, and this is where the social aspect comes in as well, by the way. And I want to create a match between Brazil and, which was the other?
Norway.
And Norway. So this is not just a virtual event on top of a real event. It's based on the different scores. But not only that, when it's calculated on the sports book, you will have the fully fledged market for each event. So you're involving the social aspect of it, not to mention the margin that sportsbooks make out of it, the different markets for a match that you actually created. So we mentioned the My Sportsbook, where we are giving the ability for the player to choose their own content. like Netflix do.
Here they are like creating
They
their
are
own
creating.
content.
So
With
here,
this mix and match.
exactly. So now we're giving them the capability to literally create their own content.
Yes, and then they have two sports games, two football game to watch because they have interest. They have a bet that is across the resulting of these two events. Yes, it's brilliant. This is a good example of this feature. And in most cases, I would say it's not for the recreational sports bettors. And this is why we have in store to handle different types. It's more like advanced tool for the bettors to engage with the sports. Another thing that we find as super critical, it's everything that is related to real-time engagement. So you talked about different buzzwords in the previous in our talk. Gamification is by far, I think, in the last 10-15 years, like the most used. Well, it replaced now with AI.
Yes,
Now,
now it's replaced
now
with
everything
AI.
is AI. So when it comes to gamification, basically what does it mean is that you gamify the reward. So it's instead of just giving somebody a bonus or something, you gamify it, and it's like you make it playful, which is super nice. Anyway, we're talking about this type of engagement, this type of e-commerce, gambling, that is super nice to gamify things. But the critical point is what we call the real-time engagement. So if I offer you a mission to do something, and you fulfill that mission, and I promise you something as an operator, you as a player expect to get it right away, not after, later today or tomorrow, or you receive it, or you receive an email. No, you everything needs to be what is called the soft real time, so almost real time. Why it's critical? Because this is how other e-commerces works.
Correct.
So we talked about the Gen Z, we talk about the millennials that we are touching tech and advanced e-commerces in the past 20 years. We already expect to have such experiences. So and missions, by all means, this economy is brilliant for the operator and brilliant for the players. I will give some examples. Let's say when it comes to the World Cup, after a short while, I see that you as a player, you always bet on the favorite, and I want to suggest for you to bet on an underdog bet, or that you always bet on a single ticket, you never do a combo ticket, or you never touch the bet builder. So it's on me as an operator to suggest to you these sorts of upsells or different ways to bet in the best way possible. So first, the tools for me to tell you about them, and then to give you something in return if you will engage with it. And Delasport as a B2B provider, this is our duty, to create this economy and to create these tools for the operators. So for example, Mission is a great tool for that. I will tell you, go and bet on something, if it's a favorite from favorite to underdog, or from underdog to a combo ticket with 2 free legs, or a bet builder. And if you do that, I will give you immediately, in a gamified way, with a wheel or scratch card or whatever, the award that was promised to you. And the fact that this needed to be in real time, and with Delasport you can also see it always where you are at and what you can get, and where you are at in terms of the mission. This is brilliant because the player is engaged, the operator got something from the player that he was wishing to get, and then like everybody is happy, more engaged with everything. So this is one of the aspects of missions, gamified awards and real-time engagement, that is so important.
And still, sorry, Oren, still, some operators are being left behind from this aspect. As you know, I do come from a sportsbook background myself. I used to trade matches. I used to have some sportsbooks, and the one thing that always frustrated me was that the casino players are more sort of preferred. They have all this and that, and when it comes to sportsbook, with all these tools, with all this personalization, it is not a way of, yeah, we're gonna give them a better LTV. It's a must. And today it is a must because else the player will either move to a competitor or will just drop out.
At the casino, many years, there was harsh competition. You had a net game near a pragmatic game, near playing Go game, etc., etc. Everybody was fighting on real estate. And then when you go to the sportsbook, there is one sportsbook. And then on the casino, you had a lot of fireworks, and with the drops and daily jackpots, and a lot of things are going in terms of the engagement and the awards and stuff that casino players can get. And in sport was, for quite a long time, it was like a desert. It was free bets and God will be with you, with all the different tools for experiences that we bought for the sports book. I think that the one of the most interesting stuff that we brought to life in the last year or so is the Superpot and the Bet Theater. Let's talk a little bit about these tools, and also what does it mean to casino players. What does it mean on the context of the World Cup, and in general. Let's start with the Superpot. What is unique about this product, and why it's relevant or important for players and for operators?
Well, first of all, it's a jackpot in sports, which already makes a different noise. But something that people out there need to understand, it's that although it sounds a bit of a tricky saying, but everyone is a winner in Superpot. So why do I say that? I mean, the operator takes 20% from the turnover. There's always a winner, because it's not just, so let's say I lose a combo bet. If it's a normal combo bet, I lost my bet. In a Superpot, if I get the most selections right and I still don't get them all right, I'm still in the chance to win. Plus, then again, obviously, the operator has the power to decide the dynamics, the seed, etc. And the biggest thing about it is that you're automatically attracting casino players.
Because they are acquainted with the jackpot mechanism.
Exactly.
This is the same strategy that we put in place. Great, we keep on creating tools for casino players, but we shouldn't neglect the sport bettors. So while it's true that every brand have one sports book, it doesn't mean that they don't need to be on the tiptoe in terms of the experiences, because there are other sports books in that market, right? So they need still to excel with everything going on the sports book. So to bring more new tools or unique ways of betting was a critical point, and coming with Superpot, no reason why sports bettors will not enjoy jackpot as well. So even before creating the bridge for casino players to place bet on sport, also for the sports bettor themselves, there's no reason why they shouldn't enjoy the jackpot. Jackpot have a very smart, progressing mechanics that appeals to casino players, and appeals also to sports bettors, but they didn't have a product for it. So what we create there, we allow operators to create Superpot games that can be football, tennis, basketball, etc. They decide about the number of fixtures in each game. They decide the market, if it's who win or else. They decide about what is the ticket cost, because it's a ticket product, not a fixed odds betting. And the players engage with the sports betting in a new way.
Exactly.
And as you said, it also have this must-win mechanism. So someone win for sure. So if there is a 10-fixture football Superpot game and one player got 7 correct out of the 10, he still get the first prize. So it's not about totalization. It's about getting the most prediction and outbid your peer.
Not to mention the flexibility of it, that you can have multiple Superpots running depending on the events that are actually happening.
Correct. Plus, you don't have to run it as a jackpot. You can also have the prize as a physical prize, like an iPhone, or you can have it as a fixed prize. It's all very customizable. But the main thing is not about the different customization that you can do with the product that is very extensive, but the notion behind it. You want to touch and get engagement with players that you maybe never interact with them before, or even if they are practicing sports betting, to allow them a different tool to do it. It's all novel reasons to do it. And then there is the casino. The casino players, we talked about 70% men also watch sports, but they don't touch the sports betting. Why they gamble on slots or blackjack, but they never gamble in sports, even though they watch sports on telly. So one of the things is to give them the right bridge, and through that the jackpot, the mechanism that they are familiar with. And Superpot, you don't have decimals. There's no fixed odds betting. You just place, for example, who win. You also can see by popularity, and you place a ticket.
Exactly.
So it's the mechanism is different. And when it comes to the World Cup, you can do a lot of it. You can do on the groups. You can do different markets. So it's another way to celebrate a wonderful tournament like the World Cup. Plus, you can use it as a retention tool on every day, every weekend.
We've seen this we've seen this firsthand through some partners that use the Superpot even for marketing the brand.
Correct.
When choosing to give physical prizes, winning an iPhone.
Yeah, if you deposit this, you will get
Exactly.
free tickets, and it's supposed also a great bonus mechanism. Let's talk about the new kids in the block, the Bettiator. As an anecdote, the guys from Scribe told me, "Hey, nice name, Bettiator sounds like aviator." So from the same notion, crash games, and I did talk with David in the past and told him that when the game Aviator introduced, I think it was 2019, a few hours I tried to break it. I tried to place two bets, one with €5, one with €10, try to get this one faster, etc. Try to break it, and of course the airplane crashes sometimes after a second. One of the things that Aviator is the fact of that it's random, right? You don't know what will happen. You just see the airplane, but you don't know what will happen with it. And of course, you want to be able to cash out on time. So this crash phenomenon from Scribe onwards in recent years is absolutely great. We also see a lot of sports bettors interacting with crash more than they do with slots, because you have this notion that it's skill related. You see what happened before, like in the roulette, which numbers were out. You see what happened before. You see what your peers are doing, if they are out or not, and you have two bets, and there is a notion of skill to it. But of course, it's all based on a random number generator. And like with the jackpot, he said, why would sports bettors will not enjoy crash mechanics? It's come with the same notion. Sports bettors are wonderful as casino players. So why would the sports bettors will not enjoy the crash mechanics like the casino guys? No reason. So this is the same strategy, same paradigm shift that we wanted to do. And so we came with this notion of Bettiator as the first crash game in sports. So how does it work?
Well, the Bettiator. So, in simpler terms, we presented this at ICE, by the way. In simpler terms, the Bettiator, the visual side of it, is a representation of the moving of the odds. So most of us know how the odd moves. So it is built on real in-play sports data. So it's not an RNG. It's definitely not an RNG. It's built on a real event, an ongoing live event. And basically, the players are predicting when the next key moment will occur, which is exactly what causes, I wouldn't say anxiety, but what causes the adrenaline of the player to be glued to the brand. So indirectly with the mediator, the player is not just putting a bet, moving on, but you're keeping him stuck to the brand, which is exactly what the operators want to do. The other side of wanting to stay put to the screen is that you need to cash out before the action happens. So basically, this is again, it's perfect for again getting and cross-selling casino players to sportsbook, because it's basically a casino crash game but in a sportsbook skin, let's say. There's no odds complexity to it. It's very straightforward. We've shown this at ICE. People went crazy for it. You know yourself, or because you presented it yourself. Most of all, it saves a lot of time and a lot of costs for the operator, because it bridges casino players into sportsbook naturally. We mentioned Gen Z quite a lot of times during this podcast, and
Yes.
Bettiator works exactly perfectly
Because it's also micro betting
for this audience. I'm looking forward to see how it's going to perform during the World Cup, but I have no doubt it's going to be exploding as well.
Yes, I mean, we saw changes, the trend from World Cup 2022 when it comes to micro betting. Moreover, in Euro 24, and since then, more and more bets on fast markets, and Bettiator fits super nicely to it, because for the very first time, it's also visualized.
Exactly.
So till recently, you could have engaged with micro betting, but it wasn't visualized. As you can see on the screen, the player is betting on goals or corners, and he need to cash out before a goal happen. You can see the graph going. The one of the main differences between Bettiator to other crash game, you mentioned, Rosier, that it's not an RNG based, but it's based on real life event. So you actually watch the game, but also that effect with you call it an anxiety, but this is I would call it this anticipation, or this is adrenaline rush, where you press a bet on a goal, and now there is a free kick or there is a danger attack, and of course at that time the player cannot cash out, and he is sweating.
Yes.
He is sweating. He is start to pray, start to talk with the goalkeeper to save, start to pray that there will be a miss, or else start to blame himself. Why didn't cash out? I knew that I needed to cash out. This is a totally different experience than seeing a rocket or an airplane with nothing going. You don't know when it will go out of the screen or explode. Totally different experience, because again, sports, real life events, everything is also regulated by FIFA, UEFA, etc. So you can see it in action and you engage with it. So that's like micro betting on steroids.
Sorry, Joran, not to mention what happens when you play Bettiator, you manage to cash out. What's going to happen afterwards? This happened to me while we were testing the product and while we were playing around with it. And whenever I place the bet and I manage to cash out, I'm instantly going to bet again. It just happens.
Correct.
I'm going to cash out again. Yes, I made some problem. I'm going to cash.
And if you miss, you want to try it again, because there's also ego about it. And of course, the instant gratification is wonderful, because you can get action going in a visualized way, and it's beautiful, and it's great for the engagement and great for the experience, as we mentioned. And we are super proud to be the very first one to come with a crash game for sport. I wouldn't be surprised that some of our competitors are looking to catch up and imitate. But it will always be that we were the first one to introduce crash game to sport. And why we were the first one? It's because it's all aligned perfectly with everything that we do. We are focusing on the experience, on the betting experience with everything that we do. We think about how the players will engage with it, what does it mean for the operator, will the regulator approve it or not. Everything goes throughout these filters, and we are super proud to be in the forefront of this paradigm shift of moving away from content-based sportsbook that brings very volatile players when it's only content to a sportsbook that brings such an experience that players are being hooked, and it's a byproduct also, of course, loyal, and it's a byproduct. The player value is way higher.
I would say is another form of personalization, another kind of personalization.
To the product, in inviting him to not to go to the full book, but go to a certain page where they can see everything that they need.
Even if you want to just see the standings, the information, what's actually happening.